بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'd like to welcome all of you guys for coming. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you one more time for attending for the 4th episode. We continue talking about which name? Allah's name, Al-Wakil. Beautiful. So just as a quick review of the last episode, to remember, we told you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Al-Wakil, He offers you His service. And He tells you His kingdom and might and power to convince you that choose Allah as the ultimate trustee. And we've mentioned about the lawyer part where you signed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we moved on and we made like a checklist. We have 5 and we mentioned the first 2. Anybody here remembers? So we mentioned the first 2 to checklist as the ways to know if you truly put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or you didn't. Okay, how about this? Remember the stories. What story did we talk about? About throwing one of the prophets, Ibrahim alayhi salam, sah? Because see, you know that when stories come in place, that's the best way to remember the point. That's why in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, some ulama say, 1/3 to 1/2 of the Quran are what? Stories. Because that's the best way to transmit the message. So sometimes if you don't remember the actual concept, then remember the story, then inshallah you'll get it. So number 1 is that when you come through hardship, the first one you think about is Al-Wakil. Number 2 is when Allah cuts the means, your trust in Allah goes up. Because you know Allah took care of it. For example, if you would like to apply for a job, and there's a person who you know at that company. So he said he's going to hook me up, I'm going to give him my resume, and then they're going to make me find a job. The mutawakkil, the true person who knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and truly loves Allah and knows Al-Wakil, when that person gets fired, for example, or he leaves his job, he won't be like, khalas, I will not get the job anymore. La ya akhi, your trust is in Allah, not him. Is it clear? So when the means cut, he won't feel hopeless. Rather, his trust in Allah goes up. So now we'll continue with the 3rd concept of how to know if you truly put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A very simple one. To show that if you truly put your trust in Allah, is that you do not allow yourself to gain any not halal or haram resources. So one more time. For you, checklist, are you a person that accepts haram, money, bribery? Do you eat haram? Do you try to do things that are haram? Then therefore, this person is not mutawakkil on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, He says, لَوْ أَنَّكُمْ تَتَوَكَّلُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ حَقَّ تَوَكُّلِهِ. If you truly put your trust in Allah the way He deserves to be placed His trust into, He will fulfill your needs. Just like how the bird leaves its nest with an empty stomach. تَغْدُو what? تَغْدُو خِمَاصًا وَتَرُوحُ بِطَانًا. They go empty stomach and they come full stomach. If you truly put your trust in Allah, Allah will provide to you just like how He provides to the birds. So those mutawakkilin, they never seek to fake their experience. So let's say I would like to give this program. They asked me, Brother Majid, give us your profile. Wallahi, I was an imam for 20 masajid before, and I have Quran memorized in different riwayat, and this is not true. This is a haram resource. I'm not a true mutawakkil. So we tell them whatever experience I have, and it's them to accept. Is it clear? And so on. The 4th point is that we do not exaggerate the worry. So for example, a person, let's say we have a sister, she wants to get married, and there's a brother proposing to her. So being worried is something normal. But you put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you don't exaggerate the worriness. Is it clear? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا. Put your trust in Allah. Allah is enough. It's sufficient. You don't need anything else. So the point is, do not exaggerate. Think about this example and scenario. A person is running away from a cop. And then he runs towards the king, the mansion. He goes into the king. The king opens the door personally of his actual bedroom, and the man walks in. Then the king says, what's wrong? I am an innocent man. The cop was running after me. The king tells him, don't worry. These cops are under my control. I will tell them to let go of you. Then that person is so worried, like, I think the cop's going to shoot me. The king says, I am the king of the whole country. I have control over it. Relax. He said, yeah, but I'm worried. Don't you think the king will be offended? I'm telling you, relax. So wait, khalas, take it easy. He said, no, the cop. See how disrespect? But Allah is the best of examples. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. But just for us to illustrate, Allah's telling you, take it easy. I'm the Al-Wakil. Don't exaggerate the worriness. Khalas, you get worried, that's human beings, but don't go to the next level. The 5th, and this is perhaps one of the most important ones. So how far do you guys check? I hope you guys checked all 4. I hope inshallah you're going to check the 5th one, but the 5th one is a serious one. You have to pay attention. When you put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're divided into two parts. You have your heart and you have your body. Your heart, full trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And your heart has no belief in any other human being in the world. Your heart, the doctor is nothing. Naam. Your heart, I am nothing. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if someone would be guided because of this, I'm nothing, just means. So the heart fully to Allah and no worldly means. The body works and works and works as if the means, it's all about the means. So you divide it into two different parts. So now the condition is as follows. The true mutawakkil is the one whom the hands, and he's working, taking every possible mean, and who will never let go of any option that is available to fulfill his goal. For example, a student, so mashallah, our students have Sharia, right? So you want to go into Sharia. So how did you apply for Sharia? To Al-Azhar University, right? Yes. So go ahead, how did you apply for it? Just a quick review.
After my high school.
After high school. So he finished high school, he's taking the means, Mumtaz. Yes.
And applied for Sharia.
So you applied. So the school, beautiful, beautiful.
And they accepted.
Accept. So he applied. He took the means. Al-Azhar did not come to you and said, brother, please be our student, please, sah? No, he applied, he worked, he filled the form, sah? You had to do a lot of work, you had to travel. You're coming to a different country. Did you know Arabic in Bosnia?
No.
You didn't know Arabic, he speaks Arabic, mashallah, beautiful. He took the means, and may Allah accept, and may Allah make you continue taking the means, not only in Sharia, but every other avenue. You see that true mutawakkil is the one in every possible avenue. For example, some people, they take a class in school. Like, wallah, I failed the class. And I put my trust in Allah, I don't know what's going on. Are you sure you put your trust in Allah? Because we agreed yesterday, if you put your trust in Allah, Allah will never let you down. Never. You tell them, oh, these questions, did you ask the teacher? Wallahi, I didn't ask the teacher. Tayyib, you have no right to complain. Sah? Because you did not take every possible mean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He is the one who created the means. Allahu khaliqu kulli shay wa huwa ala kulli shay'in wakil. Look at subhanAllah, for example, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, there's a statement about him, that he used to work so much and take the means, and people used to say, don't you have tawakkul in Allah for how much he works? And sometimes he's so relaxed and rest that people say, work, you're not taking the means. He said, because that time there's nothing else to do, I put my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, there's this true story of a person who was, it's actually in Egypt, and I heard the story second person from Dr. Amr Khalid. That person, he was supposed to serve in the army. So his family told him, you have your relative as a general. Go to him and get a doctor's note, and he will let go of you, and you don't have to serve the 3-year period. You'll only serve what? The 1-year period. It's not that he's running away from it, but just because he has a big family, he has to provide for them. So they said, you know what? Your uncle will let you live just like this. His heart was what? Only Allah take me out of this. His hands, it's not general. You see the difference? But it's all about what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the heart. So he's saying, Mama, it's Allah al-Wakil that will take care of this. She's like, yes. But you know, the general, your uncle, get you out of this just like that. He says, every time my mother says that to me, my iman and the tawakkul is shaken. Because as if I'm actually depending on him now, not as much as on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You only depend on Allah. So every time she tells him, your uncle will get you out of this, he said, stop saying it because my iman gets shaken. She insisted, and he said, you know what? I'm not going to my uncle. I'm not going. Khalas. I'm putting my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't want anything to interfere. Khalas. So he walks towards the agents, and he's an architect. So he draws a lot of drawings and so on, houses, etc. So then when he went there, he noticed that every person in line was giving a doctor's note to the doctor that checks your health. So you have to go through this process first. If you check, then you go to the next level, and then he assigns you level 1, which is 1 year, or level 2, which is 3 years. He goes there, everybody gives doctor's note. Then his turn comes. They said, where's your doctor's note? He said, I don't have a doctor's note. He said, really? He said, no, I don't have it. He said, okay. He's like, what's this? 3, some testing, this and that. Then everything went well. So he write down, he will serve how many years? 3 years. So he got literally, put my trust in Allah, whatever the result is, alhamdulillah. That's a mutawakkil, right? He grabbed this. As he was leaving, he said, did I do something wrong? Did I have to go to my uncle? He said, no, Allah al-Wakil, khalas. As he was walking outside, what happened? Who followed him? The doctor. The doctor said, hold on. Stand sideways. He said, okay, I'll stand sideways. He said, there's something in your back, you're bent, you have the suffered backbone curvature. Because he's what? An architect. He said, you have to do another testing, you need to do an x-ray. They take him to another doctor, does an x-ray. Okay, there is a what? A suffered backbone curvature. Goes to the other doctor, he says, this man cannot serve in the army, go home. Not even a year, no 3 years. Then he went without using his uncle. See Allah al-Wakil? True story, wallahi. I'm not talking about Sahaba, I'm talking about our time, subhanAllah. So you have to take every possible mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you, inshallah. And you know what? The kuffar, they do an amazing job at this. The kuffar are unbelievable. Yani, for example, there's an NBA player, and I will mention this because the youth, they look at the stuff. But these NBA players had the means not take place and they don't see the results. What? Commit suicide. Sah? I did all this stuff. Then you start stealing and so on. There's an NBA player, his name is Chris Paul, one of the very famous teams. He was watching an all-star game at the United States of America. He was one of the people watching, in the fence. Then he told the news reporter, it was in Houston, Texas, that next time I'm coming to this field, to this court, I'm going to be a player in the all-star team. Not even just like a coach, like substitute. No, I'm going to be a player. 6 years later, in 2013, the all-star game was in Houston, Texas. Do you know who was in that team? Chris Paul. Because he was training every possible minute he can. In summer, when people take vacation, he was practicing. You see the means? Taking the means and so on, to an extent that on that year, he didn't just play in the all-star team, he was the most valuable player, and he was given the trophy as the best player ever. But the Muslims are different. Is that if we try our best and it does not work out, we know for a fact that that this is the best for us. This is the beauty of living with Allah al-Wakil. And only if you knew al-Wakil that you have this sense of appreciation, this sense of trust and confidence. So inshallah, with that being said, we will move to some of the rewards that Allah al-Wakil gives to those who put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right after this break, Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. Welcome everyone. Jazakumullah khair. I hope you took that nice break the past few minutes. Now we will go into the reward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises those who put their trust and depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fully with their heart, while their hands and legs are moving and moving and moving non-stop. Then they say tawakkaltu ala Allah. Because pay attention. If people say tawakkalna ala Allah when they don't take al-asbab or take the means, then this is what? Disrespect. This is very disrespectful to Allah. They say, I put your trust in you, and okay, move, apply, go ahead and work, and so on. So for those who work hard and they put their trust in Allah, I'll mention 4 rewards, inshallah. We ask Allah to bless our time. Say Ameen. Bismillah. Number 1, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises that He will relieve you from any concern or worry that you might have. Allah said in the Quran, وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. If you put your trust in Allah, Allah's enough for you. Wow, Allah beautiful. Allah's enough for you. Don't worry about anything in the world. And I'm going to mention a statement to you, a hadith. It's from Adhkar al-Sabah. Khalas? And Adhkar al-Masa. You say it 7 times. You know, many people, they like this stuff. Like one time, subhanAllah, some people, I'll give you this scenario. A person called me for coming here. And he said, brother, I have a problem with my wife and so on. So can you please come for this few minutes, make dua for us and leave? I'm like, what do you mean, like one secret dua is going to change your life? Yeah? He said, yeah, brother, they're not practicing, they don't pray much and so on. I said, dua works, but you think that I'm going to teach you one dua and then you leave and everything changes? That you have to work and so on. But people, the point of the story is that people, they love the dua that fixes problems, right? So this is authentic. You want it? Wallah, it's priceless. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man qala, alayhi salatu wasalam, never ever forget alayhi salatu wasalam. Man qala idha asbaha wa idha amsa. Whoever says in the morning and in the evening 7 times. What? Hasbi Allahu la ilaha illahu. Allah is sufficient for me. There's no deity worthy of worship except Allah. Alayhi tawakkaltu, on Him I depend and I put my trust. Wa huwa rabbul arsh al-azim. And to Him belong the great throne. What will happen, Ya Allah? What will happen, Ya Rasulullah? Kafahu Allahu ma ahammah. Allah will take care of any worry you might have. You trust the Prophet? You trust him? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? He told you to do this. 7 times in the morning, 7 times in the evening. I'll say it one more time. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. 7 times. خلاص? So inshallah when we're done this episode, please remember to say it. 7 times in the morning, 7 times at night, and Allah promises you, I'll take care of any concern you might have. Allahu Akbar. Second reward is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, another dua that you can make whenever you leave your house. Very easy dua, and especially those who leave the house a lot, you make sure you remember this. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إِذَا خَرَجَ الرَّجُلُ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ فَقَالَ, whenever a man or a woman leaves the house and they say, Bismillah, should give the name of Allah. It's the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. توكلت على الله, I depend and I put my trust in Allah. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. There's no change, there's no power except by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What will happen? يقال, it will be said to that person, هديت وكفيت ووقيت. You have been guided, you have been sufficient, Allah will suffice you, and you've been protected. ووقيت. Then a shaitan that is assigned to that person, because everyone has a shaitan, right? You have a qareen, صح? Everyone has a shaitan. At that time, فَتَتَنَحَّى لَهُ الشَّيَاطِينَ. The devils, they go to that qareen of yours, and they make fun of him. Ha ha ha! That man that you were hanging out with, he said, Bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah, wa la hawla wa quwwata illa billah. And he is kufi, wa hudi, wa wuqi. You can't mess around with him. So they're making fun of other shaitan because they can no longer, what? Interfere with that person and whisper to him. So can we remember our best, Bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You see how beautiful it is? But say it with what? Your heart full of it. And remember, you don't go, you're driving, car accident, and then now you will know if you truly said it with your heart. What's a sign that you truly said this with your heart? When you first get that car accident, you think of who? Al-Wakil. صح? So this is a way to know if you're sincere with what you're saying. The third thing, which is very beloved to me, and I'm sure beloved to all of you, and whenever this comes in the Quran, it is very lovely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ خلاص, if you made the decision, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ what? فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. You've taken the means, you do everything, then put your trust in Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. Allah loves those who put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And wallahi, I ask the question, I'm going to say it many times through the episodes, if Allah loves you, then what else in the world matters? If Allah loves you, then what else do you care about? Sah? If Allah loves you, inna Allah yuhibbul mutawakkilin. So we ask Allah to make us amongst the mutawakkilin, not just because Allah will take care of our affairs, because Allah will love us. And this is so meaningful to us, because every abd, every slave, that's one of the main goals is for Allah to love them. And when Allah loves you, what else matters? The fourth thing that I will mention in the last of terms of reward, Yawm al-Qiyamah, when the sun is 1 mile away from above our heads, and people are sweating, some people to their knees, some people to their belly button, some people to their mouth, and some people are what? Drowning with their own sweat. And people are running, وَتَرَى النَّاسَ سُكَارَى وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَى وَلَكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ شَدِيدٌ. The women will be running and the men will be running as if they're drunk, but they're not drunk due to the punishment and the fear that is going on. In this midst of all of this, every human being since Adam till the last human being that was born, running away, Aisha said, Ya Rasulullah, we will be naked looking at one another. He said, Ya Aisha, the matter is a lot harsher, is a lot fearful than this. People will not care about this. In all of this, there are people that will have a VIP line. Very important people. Allah says, you don't be here. You go to Jannah. Huh? You go to Jannah, you don't be asked any questions and you won't be judged. لا عذاب ولا حساب. Who are they? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, 70,000 من أمتي يدخلون الجنة بغير عذاب ولا حساب. 70,000 of my ummah enter Jannah without questioning, without any punishment. Who are they, Rasulullah? Are you guys excited to know? But if you know, you do your best and you promise that I will do whatever it takes to fulfill all four. Number one, they are those that لا يسترقون. They don't seek ruqya. They don't ask for ruqya. ولا يتطيرون. They don't take omens. So some people will be driving. Let's say, for example, one person will propose to another person, say a brother wants to marry to his sister. So he's driving to the house. He finds a black bird going to that direction. Like, no, black bird, that's a bad thing. I'll never go house. I changed my mind. This is tatayyur. This is a black omen, the bad omen. You don't do that stuff. Number three, لا يسترقون ولا يتطيرون ولا يكتوون. They don't use hard metal whenever they're injured. Let's say someone is injured. You know, sometimes they bring hot knife. They put it here to cure it. They don't do that. And so far it's easy, صح? And not many of us ask for ruqya. Not many of us do omens. How many are educated? Not many of us, alhamdulillah, no one is going here for jihad, alhamdulillah, everything is fine, safe country, alhamdulillah. Number 4, وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And on Allah, they put their trust. These are the people that enter Jannah without punishment, without questioning. Now, Rasulullah ﷺ would wish more. 70,000 is not that big of a deal, right? Because 70,000, you know what that means? All the Sahaba took it, khalas, we missed it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Wakil, He offered Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for every one of them another 70,000. So this makes it 4.9 billion people, authentic hadith. 4.9 billion will go to Jannah بغير عذاب ولا حساب. May Allah make us amongst them. Say Ameen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So this is amongst the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for those who put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In conclusion, know that this sense of having this tawakkul and being amongst the mutawakkilin is not something overnight. That's why I began with the first name as Al-Wakil. So inshaAllah, the more you know Allah, the more you love Him, the more obedient you become close to Allah, the happier you'll be in this life and the afterlife. So it comes into stages, and I will mention Musa alayhi salam, how he went to 3 different stages, and you will note the beauty of his trust in Allah getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Number 1, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنْ أَلْقِ عَصَاكَ فَلَمَّا رَآهَا تَهْتَزُّ كَأَنَّهَا جَانٌ. What happened to him? Allah said, throw your staff. When he saw the staff shaking, what happened to him? وَلَّ مُدْبِرًا. Ran away. It was so scary, a stick is shaking. وَلَّ مُدْبِرًا وَلَمْ يُعَقِّبْ. Didn't even care about it anymore. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya Musa aqbil. Musa, come back, come back. وَلَا تَقَفْ إِنَّكَ مِنَ الْأَمِنِينَ. Don't get scared, you're amongst the safe and secure people. So you see the staff shaking, he ran away without even worrying about it. Now Musa gets to know Allah more and more and more. Look at this. Allah says in the Quran, قَالَ بَلْ أَلْقُوا. So the magicians are going to throw, magician competing with Musa, right? About 70,000, 12,000 magicians in front of the whole city, competing with Musa on who's the truth. And you see how stressful it is? Some people get nervous because of camera. Imagine people right in front of you, 70,000 magicians, huh? Not people in the stadium. So imagine how big it is. And Musa's all alone. He's the only person believing in Allah and showing it to the people, perhaps with his brother Harun, and maybe some other Yahud that are around. So then he says, قَالَ بَلْ أَلْقُوا فَإِذَا حِبَالُهُمْ وَعَصِيُّهُمْ يُخَيَّلُ إِلَيْهِمْ مِنْ سِحْرِهِمْ أَنَّهَا تَسْعَى. When they threw their staff, what happened to them? It looked as if it's snakes. They are what? Snakes. What happened to Musa? Did he run away this time? No. فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ خِيفَةً مُوسَى. He got scared, but he did not run away like before. Because his tawakkul on Allah increased. Allah says, قُلْنَا لَا تَخَفْ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْأَعْلَى. Don't get worried. You are amongst the victorious. You are amongst those that what will win, inshallah. But what was scarier? The staff, only one staff, or 70,000 magicians and a big stadium? But because the more he knew Allah, it wasn't as tough. Look at the third and last level. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَ الْجَمْعَانِ. Now Musa and his people are running away from who? Fir'aun. And then they go and they stop at what? The sea, the ocean. There's no way out. And who comes? Fir'aun. So Fir'aun, Musa, ocean. They're done. There's no way out. Fir'aun is going to wipe them out and kill them all. Now the true mutawakkil, he thinks of Allah al-Wakil, and if he did put the means, then Allah will never let go of them, right? What happened? The people said, إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. Khalas, we're done. The people with who? With Musa alayhi salam. What did Musa say? قَالَ كَلَّا. Never. Oh, you're so powerful now, so confident. Even though this is the scariest moment of all 3, right? The scariest moment. كَلَّا إِنَّا مَعِيَ رَبِّي سَيْهْدِينَ. Allah is with me. Al-Wakil is with me. He will guide us. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them, take the means. What was the means that Musa had to take? Come on.
Throw the staff.
Excellent. So the means is what Allah said. فَأَوْحَيْنَا مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ. Ya Allah, what's this going to do? You take the means. If you want to go to Z, you're at A. All what you can do is go to B. You wallahi, do all what you can to go to B, and Allah will take you to Z. So just hit the staff. Just hit the staff. He hit the staff, the whole ocean opens. Musa alayhi salam goes, and then Fir'aun thinks he can go the same route, and Allah puts the ocean and smashes Fir'aun, and Fir'aun and his soldiers die. You see how tawakkul is levels? So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who have tawakkul. And when we put trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't only make it in dunya terms, Put your trust in Allah, that oh Allah, I'll do whatever it takes to go to Jannah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst the people of Jannah. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. And may Allah make us amongst al-mutawakkilin. Jazakum Allah khair. Don't forget the dhikr, hasbi Allah and Bismillah, those two we mentioned. Jazakum Allah khair. We'll see you in the next episode with a new name, only if you know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beautiful names. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.